Hi, it is the Human Operating System time. So this channel is for education and for technology only. So last video, I shared the proper way of how to stand in the, or how to handle the Wing Chun Yjkym or the clamping yang stance. Then many friends contacted me, some buy in and some really eager, want to try it, but some still get into those your style, your lineage style. So today I like to share more on this thing because it is very critical. We like it or not, Wing Chun now is in a crossroad. Okay, if we do not fix this Yjkym stuff in the Yjkym Tao, it is very big problem there. So we need to fix it, and I show you the solution already in the other video. Now, people might question, why is it so important? Why is it so big deal? So I like to share with you this, okay? And this is not only big deal, this is a disaster if we do not fix it. In the ancient, okay, since Wing Chun is from Shaolin, right? There are two things on breathing. First thing is the breathing is the root of strength. If one cannot have that lower abs breathing, forget about strength, forget about Jing. It is recorded in the Shaolin short strike writing. Another part is in Shaolin martial art training, if one wants to train in fighting, one need to develop the what they call the unperturbable mind, unperturbable mind, which is in the Buddhist way saying it is samadhi, stillness. So how is this stillness developed? Well, it is based on breathing, which is the Buddhist teaching, anapanasati. So a proper anapanasati, we know by evidence, many people today in this world still have that development. The breathing is deep and slow. Okay, the breathing is deep and slow. So if they need power, strength, they have that. Another thing is, because of this practice of anapanasati, the body and mind calm down into stillness. That's how you enter into samadhi. Okay? So this is based on the, you call it the science or technology of the Buddhism or the Shaolin art of the Chinese in the ancient. Well, Wing Chun is Shaolin, so we need to know that. Okay, that is Wing Chun is a part of Shaolin legacy, right? Now, if people don't buy this, you look into today's sport. Didn't people train slow and deep breathing for increase or raise their heart rate variability or make their heart more resilient? Then people train the breathing to be able to handle stress, to relax their body and mind so that they can handle stress better. Again, this is related to the heart rate variability, which is if one trains properly, you see the heart rate variability rising or increasing, and you see one be able to activate the parasympathetic nervous system. So, also, we know today, if you want to be in sport and so forth, we talk about the aerobic training, anaerobic training. If you want those power, you need oxygen. You need deep breathing. Okay? People talk about the epoch, the oxygen, the after exercise, those kind of things, the oxygen death, those kind of stuff. So now, the ancient, our ancestor, our Wing Chun ancestor, why? Because this exists in the 1850s Queen Quid, okay, the writing of the Xiu Lim Tao Quid, which is Shaolin, okay. This is the ancestor, and then the modern science. Right now, they are consistent. Okay? So, like it or not, breathing is the key for strength and the calmness or handling the stress. That two very important things. So, we keeping talking about handling techniques under pressure. We always heard that people say, what can your techniques, can what you do, what you train, works under pressure? Can what you train works under pressure? Well, now you look into the Xiu Lim Tao. If you don't do what I'm showing you the other day, okay, what I'm showing you is not mind stuff. It's the ancestor stuff, okay? So don't get me wrong. That is their technology. If the Xiu Lim Tao practice do not have the ability to develop the lower abs breathing, which is can intake lots of oxygen and not be able to rising the heart rate variability or activate or make the parasympathetic nervous system to be more active, like the sports science people, like the Buddhists get into the samadhi, stillness. What is the Xiu Lim Tao do? In fact, this is the stand and the breathing is the first thing need to train. The first 5 writing, the first 5 lines of writing of the 1850 Xiu Lim Tao writing is about this. So this is how critical it is. If one don't have this proper stand, one will not develop the breathing. When one not develop the breathing, one will not have the strength and not have the calmness training one need. So the Xiu Lim Tao practice become a waste. We like it or not, it's like that. Because we are human. It's got nothing to do with lineage or who is the grandmaster, who is the teacher, or is me or you. It doesn't matter. As soon as we are human being, it doesn't matter it's ancients or it doesn't matter it is today's sports science. East or west, all the same. Oxygen and your handling of the your nervous system. You activate your parasympathetic nervous system, those kind of stuff. Okay. So how can we ignore it? How can we just argue again like it is your lineage, Hendrik, it is this, it is that, it is that? Instead of looking into what the heck is going on. Well, this is not philosophy. This is whether one be able to do the job or not. No, not even for fighting, just for daily life. with more oxygen and be able to calm oneself down, calm the mind and body, one get better to handle the stress. So I'm not just suggesting that, oh, this is for fighting. No, for just practical, very basic minimum use, okay? So that's the reality. We buy it or not buying it, it doesn't matter. Nature doesn't give a damn. But for we do not be able to develop it, it is a disaster. Okay? It is plain this simple. Now, people sometimes having this what do you call it, this bias toward lineage or grandmaster. Will say, well, Hendrik, this is your lineage, you know, which I don't even want to talk about lineage. I never talk about lineage here, right? I talk about science and what exists in the Buddhism, in Shaolin and so forth, and in the past with evidence. Now let me ask you guys a question. If you look at today's Xiu Lim Tao set, didn't people left and right taking the Tai Chi stuff or internal art stuff to modify their Xiu Lim Tao sets and call it the internal one? Didn't it so? So if there's a face problem or a lineage problem, or I'm going to not use yours, Hendrik. If there's a face problem, do you rather to use the Tai Chi stuff and the internal art stuff to modify the Xiu Lim Tao sets and not using this Wing Chun inheritance, which is solidly proven by evidence? It doesn't make any sense anymore, right? Not to mention a critical thing. Anybody can check this. For past 60 years, all this mixing up Tai Chi or internal art stuff into to modify their Xiu Lim Tao. Does any one of these people mention this breeding stuff? The answer is no, zero. Now that also shows one thing. What is named or labeled as internal is not internal at all. Well, if this real internal, you'll be able to check with your heart rate variability, right? Sports science, if it is the real internal, then you'll be able to check with our Shaolin document. But instead, people will say, you have to be relaxed because my Xiu Lim Tao is internal. I have to be relaxed. And then I have to have this what they call it, the qi, the lifting of the anus, as what I showed you the other day. All those things turns out to be is in the reverse direction. Is pulling the reverse gear. Because when the body is tearing apart, one cannot breathe. So now this is the entire thing. So in 3 days, 2020 is coming in. You know, everybody is free to do what they like to do. I am here in this channel to share with you what is the reality. Again, this is not me, my style. I am the grandmaster, or following me. It's not. Following the ancestor. Following the modern sports science. And it turns out that the ancestor and the modern sports science, they are consistent. If we don't do it, what are we going to do? Keeping living in the movie, keeping living in those internal this, internal that, which is who knows which world it belongs to. So this is to share with you. Everybody is free to do what they like to do, but I have shared with you what happened. And I just hope that every lineage, everybody get healthier, get better, and every school is prospered. Because when we have better tools, proper tools to develop this body and mind, then it's good for health, it's good for martial art and so forth. It makes Wing Chun have a very good value. Without this, it doesn't have much value because it cannot develop the basic handling of the oxygen intake and the handling of the sympathetic nervous system, which is influence the resilience of our heart, cardio. And of course, breathing have influenced your lung too. So I can only say this, okay? The rest is your freedom. Do whatever you want.